Hey guys, this is Spanky Hayes, and I want to say something, whether it's comedy, acting, or just in general real life. I use my A game. I gotta have the A game. I pack it in every pocket. I got one pill in every pocket, and every pair of pants I got. Listen, entertaining y'all is hard sometimes. I gotta fly to Dallas, then to Denver, then to New York, then to LA, then to Detroit. Come on, man. That tires me out. I just take the A game now. I don't have that problem no more. I usually barely don't sleep because I'm entertaining y'all. I'm in the studio all night with the A game. And trust me, when I come home from the studio, my woman gets to feel the real pleasure of the A game. You see, I'm smiling. Watch this. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Guess what I just took? What? A game, A game, A game, A game. I'm gonna meet you upstairs, all right?
Oh, okay.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love. Salute to everybody that's in the building right now. Shout out to all of the visionaries out there. Shout out to all of the visionaries. Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to the A Game family. Salute to the A Game Nation. We back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV, man. I appreciate all the love and the support. I appreciate all the love and the support. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share this show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to yesterday's show. And as promised, I came back with part 2 for you guys. So make sure y'all like and share this show. We're going to get into this show in a minute. I'm going to come to the chat room and give some shout outs. But make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share this show, man. Shout out to everybody. We are back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to my man Third Ward in the building. Salute, my brother. Matt McKee, what's going on, man? Shout out to my man Sir O in the building. Salute, salute. Shout out to my man Walt Diddy. Shout out to Walt Diddy, man. Shout out to Bronze Dip in the building. Salute, salute. Chubby Chase, what's going on? What's going on? Shout out to Miss Angie. What's going on, Miss Angie? Shout out to Shango Zulu on the check-in. Shout out to Lack of Black on the check-in. Salute. Salute. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the clouds. Shout out to everybody that's on the pull-up. Salute, salute, salute. Make sure y'all go and check out my pre-recorded video. Make sure y'all go and check that out. You know, I had to debunk the myth of Pookie and Ray Ray. So make sure y'all go and check that out. Make sure y'all get over there and check that out after this show, of course. Hey, what's going on, Panda Berries? Thanks for tuning in. M. Shantae, what's good? What's good? What's good? Salute. So shout out to everybody that's in the building. Y'all see today's show, the Black Homo Masculine Agenda, part 2. Part 2, Black Eunuchs. Part 2, yes. As I promised y'all, y'all asked for it, so y'all have it. So make sure y'all hit the like button. Salute to my brother Walt Diddy for sharing the show. Yes, sir. Salute, salute, my brother. And y'all see today's show. This is part 2 of yesterday's show, the Black Homo Masculine Agenda. If you would like to go check out part 1, just go to the video section and check it out. Shout out to my brother, the Bishop, for pulling up. Salute, salute. A-Game family in the building. And today's show will be a continuation of yesterday's show. As I said, if you would like to do some catching up, make sure y'all go and check out part 1. So today, we're going to be talking about black eunuchs. What is a black eunuch? What is the purpose of it? Now we're going to give a little bit of history first, because see, I know y'all probably wondering, why am I even speaking about this stuff? Why am I bringing this stuff up? It is because black heterosexual masculinity has always been under attack. And a lot of times we don't know why. We don't know where it's coming from. We don't know how long it's been happening. But see, for a long time, these types of things has been going on, and we don't know how far this stuff go back. And today we're going to go back a little bit for you guys, so you guys can understand where a lot of this stuff that you see today with the LGBTQ agenda and how it's being pushed in schools, how it's being allowed to take place in religious institutions, and how it was just able to spread like wildfire. And now it has become a little bit of a problem. It has. And it really has become a problem, an onslaught on men, especially black men. You see, because they're not putting this stuff in schools and religious institutions and all. They're not doing this stuff for no reason. See, because you have to understand how they get us, and I explained this in a previous stream, how they get us to lose our value. How they convince us that our values don't matter, which is basically getting you to practice a lost value system. How do they get you to do this? They get you to do this through the act of subversion. How do they subvert you? They first separate you from your spirituality. That is the first thing they do. They separate you from here first. Once they can separate you from your spirituality, you have no foundation to stand upon as a man. This is what they do. So you have to understand that a lot of the things that we see today started from the corruption in that realm of activity. You have to understand this. You see, this is why in the Bible it says you have corruption in high places, meaning that a lot of the corruption that you had even in the church, it started from higher ups. It don't start from the congregation. It starts from the higher ups. So when you hear the A Game family say it's a spiritual war, when you hear us say this in our content, it's because we understand where the corruption starts. It starts in the leadership. That's where it starts. And the way that they got black men to subvert their religious values, their spiritual values first, was they removed God out of the equation. They made God no longer important. They turned God into a bunch of other things. They removed the aspect of God from the inside of man and had him worshiping God from the outside. This is what they did. This is where you get esoteric and exoteric from. You see? This is what they've done first. Because what? Spirituality is the what? The foundation of a man. It's the foundation of anybody, but I'm speaking to us brothers. So that is the foundation, that is the core of who you are. So they remove that from you. You see? And once they can remove you from that, they know that now they can suggest anything else to you. You see? So the corruption started then. A lot of the things that we see going on today was planned years and years before. You see? We think that these things are something that are a new occurrence. And even I thought this. I'm not going to sit here and admit like I've been new this. This is something I'm just finding out myself. But this agenda is not new. So we got to shout out Dr. Frances Cress Welsing because she did tell us about this. She did. She sure did. And what she specifically said was, this is about genetic survival. This is about genetic survival. So when we're talking about genetic survival, now we're talking about this now. When we start talking about genetics, we start talking about biocothyron. This process. Shout out to Dr. Holman. That is what she's speaking on when she says why they create the things they create. Why they oppress us the way that they do, brothers. It is for what? Genetic survival. So, if that's the case, right? After they remove the aspect of God from a man, they can begin to even question or have you question if you're even a man. And see, this is what they've been doing over time. You see? And they've been working overtime for like the past 20 years on trying to redefine what masculinity is. Especially, and see, this is the reason why the title is what it is. Because as I said yesterday, I always thought that masculinity only dealt with heterosexual men. But over time, due to the subversion of man's value system, now you can redefine what masculinity is. It can be two types of masculinity. You could be a straight masculine man, but you also cannot be a straight masculine man. You could still be masculine. This is what this I've even saw people put this in chat rooms. That has nothing to do with your sexual preference and this, that, and the third. But see, you didn't have men saying this 20, 30 years ago. You didn't have men professing this stuff. But see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all how far this stuff goes back, how this agenda goes back, how far it goes back, and how it's connected to what I was speaking about yesterday. This is why today's show is called Black Eunuchs. So shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Golden Child. Salute. Make sure y'all hit the like button and share this show. Shout out to everybody in the building. But that is why today's show is called Black Eunuchs. So I'm going to share my screen. Because, see, a lot of us don't understand just how far this stuff goes. Excuse me. And how deep it goes. So let's get to the meaning of a eunuch. A eunuch is usually defined as a man who has been castrated, right? A man that has been castrated. A broader definition includes men who are impotent or who are voluntarily celibate. Don't get me started today, family. We not playing today on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Should I read that again? Did y'all just hear what I read? And see, I'm laughing because I don't think y'all heard what I just read. Let me take a sip of water. I don't think y'all just heard what I just read. I think I'm going to have to read it again. It's not a joke, y'all. It's not a joke. A eunuch is usually defined as a man who has been castrated. A broader definition includes men who are impotent or who are voluntarily celibate. Should I read it again? Do you wonder why they hate Pookie and Ray Ray? Huh? Should I read it again? Should I? Listen, I'm not making this up. I'm just reading what this says. Don't get mad at me. I'm just reading what it says. It says a eunuch is usually defined as a man who has been castrated. A broader definition includes men who are impotent or who are voluntarily celibate. It was common in Bible times for rulers of conquering nations to take prepubescent boys from among the new subjects and castrate them. Should I read that last part again? Because I think I just discovered Africa Bambaataa. Can y'all put a number 1 in the chat if I just read Africa Bambaataa? Put a number 1 in the chat if I did. put a number 2 in the chat if I'm capping. Because that last statement so let me slow down. It was common in Bible times for the rulers of conquering nations to take prepubescent boys from among the new subjects and castrate them. The eunuchs of the Bible were usually castrated males or those incapable of reproduction due to a birth defect. Due to a birth defect. This is how far this stuff goes. See, this is why I'm reading this. This is why I'm reading this, because I want y'all to understand how far this stuff goes back. This is nothing new. You see? They've always tried to subvert black heterosexual. I don't even know why I have to say that. Damn, I don't even know why I have to say black heterosexual masculinity. Why can't I just say black masculinity? I don't even know why I have to say that, but I'm going to say it. Black heterosexual masculinity. They've always tried to subvert this because with black heterosexual men around and having children and being potent does what? It does what? It puts them at more of a chance of what? Genetic annihilation. See, this stuff is deeper than what y'all think. It's deeper than them just wanting your sons, you know, twerking and all of that. It's deeper than that. No, we got to get them young. We gotta get the masculinity out of them young so they don't reproduce. Exactly, my brother. You see, this is a spiritual war. This war is spiritual. See, all the other shit is used to confuse you. So you don't understand this part. You think it's some new shit. You think they just using it so they could sell you some tight ass clothes so they can make money. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. But that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe, oh, it's about the money. It's deeper than that. The eunuchs of the Bible were usually castrated males or those incapable of reproduction due to a birth defect. A eunuch could also be someone who performed work typical of eunuchs, although remained perfectly capable of having sex. So it goes back to the voluntary celibacy thing. So you had men back then who were born with this birth defect where their penises didn't work. Then you had some guys who would cut them off to have certain positions, certain social positions. And then you had some men who just didn't want to use it. Just because. And see, what do we have today? We have the same thing. We have men who are born with birth defects. Same thing. Shout out to Golden Child. Salute, family. Appreciate it. We have men today who are born with these birth defects, right? Then we have the men who choose to not use it, right? So you have the men who can't use it, then the men who choose not to use it, then the men who choose to cut it off. And they're cutting it off for what? For social status. We have the same shit going on today. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm bugging in the chat room, y'all. Let me know if I'm going too far. Let me know. Let me know, because I'm just reading what it says. That's all I'm doing. Now let's pay attention to over here. Let's pay attention to this. This is extremely important. Let's pay attention to this part over here. Let's pay attention to this. I want to make sure y'all pay attention to the highlighted area. It says a eunuch is a man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all. Salute. A eunuch is a man who has been castrated. Throughout history, castration often served a specific social function. See, now we talk about what? Culture. When we talk about social. See, they already changed the biology. When your joint is cut off or don't work. See this? We're going through another cycle of biocothyron when you have this black homo masculine agenda. And this has been going on for centuries. This is nothing new, fellas. A eunuch is a man who has been castrated. Throughout history, castration often served a specific social function. The earliest records for international castration to produce eunuchs are from the Sumerian city of Lagash in the 2nd millennium BC. Over the millennia since, they have performed a wide variety of functions in many different cultures. Y'all think it's a game? These men were produced. They just said it. They were produced. The ones who weren't born that way, the other ones, they were produced. like you see today. Like you see today. What's the dude I was talking about yesterday? Carl Hopkins. Little Nas X. Over the millennia since, they have performed a wide variety of functions in many different cultures. So they use these eunuchs as productive citizens in society. Now, what do? They are courtiers or equivalent domestics for espionage or clandestine operations. So they use these eunuchs to go into other countries. They've been doing this for centuries. Castrato singers, I don't know what that is, concubines. They're used as concubines. I didn't say it. I'm reading it. What are they being used today as? Huh? Concubines. Y'all follow me, because we're gonna put all this together. We're gonna put it together. We're gonna put it together. Man, shout out to Golden Child again, man. He said just passing the plate around. Salute, my brother. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button and make sure y'all share this show. Make sure y'all share this show, y'all. Concubines or sexual partners, religious specialists, soldiers. They're using these eunuchs as soldiers? Oh, no wonder why they're showing all of these masculine women in goddamn comic books to our sons. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I see what y'all doing. You see why I say it's a spiritual war, family? They got the heroic masculine woman taking the place of the masculine man who's supposed to be the hero. This is nothing new. They're soldiers. Y'all think it's a game. See, this should also tell our women to get off that feminist bullshit. Because this is the underlying message under it. You see? Get off that bullshit. We could be heroes too. Yeah, in the kitchen. No, you cannot save the goddamn world. Cut it out. You see? But see, the point that you need to understand is they're using that to undermine and subvert Black masculinity. You see? That's what they're using it for. That's what needs to be understood. Shout out to the Crimson Cure. She said they showed us warrior eunuchs in the Game of Thrones, the Unsullied. Thank you. Shout out to the Crimson Cure. Much love, mamas. Appreciate the support. A-Game family. Eunuchs. This is not a game, brothers. Shout out to my brother, the bishop. He said, we are in a war, y'all. Bio Iran. Cook, my brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A-Game family on the check-in, man. Salute. Now let's go back. They're used as courtiers or equivalent domestics for espionage or clandestine operations, right? So that's Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Agent Smith type of shit. Castrato singers, concubines or sexual partners, religious specialists, soldiers, royal guards, government officials, and guardians of women or harem servants. Harem servants, sex slaves. Y'all think this is a game? Y'all think it's a game? And remember, you have the eunuchs who are born this way through a genetic defect. Then you have the ones who were produced this way. And then you have the ones who just don't use it. They just don't use it. And besides the biological part, the defect, the other part of it is for social reasons. This is why I just read some of the titles that these eunuchs held back in time. So you can understand why they chose to chop their joints off. You see? I spoke about this on my channel a long time ago, how a lot of guys are G for P. They gay for pay. A lot of these guys chose to take on this lifestyle for social gain, to be on a higher social status. High value men, someone? But you have to understand. See, I wanted to bring y'all back a little bit so y'all can understand where this stuff comes from. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. Yes, religious specialist. Yes. Religious specialist. You see why certain things are allowed? And let me make this disclaimer. This is not me bashing the church. Because I got a bishop gotta get on my ass, man. So I'm not here to bash the church, but me and him talk about it all the time, how certain things were allowed later on. And it comes from corrupt leadership. You see why I spoke about this the other day? Corrupt leadership. Because this is how this stuff got allowed in for these eunuchs to become leaders, religious leaders. You see? It comes through corruption. You see? And corruption comes from the subversion of one's values. You see? See, when you're running around practicing some shit like this, you're corrupted. You're corrupt. You are corrupt. There's no truth. Once there's no truth, see, this is why I started with the spiritual and how they removed spirituality away from black men. See, that's the essence of our masculinity, brothers. That's what makes black men more unique than any other men, because of our spiritual base, because of our moral compass, because of our principles and the things that we say we will not waver on. That is what made us the most sought after men in the world by all women. Because of our spiritual base. You see? So the corruption started there. It started there. It started there where they what? They removed us away from the truth. That's what they've done. They removed us away from the truth. They want us to believe that we're not who the books say we are. That's what they've done. So how they start doing it is by using the process of biocothyron. They attack us biologically. And then they can start implementing these new lifestyles, which will affect our culture. You see? And then they will begin to what? Make new laws for these people. See, because y'all have to understand, they always wanted to make or to have a third gender. You have to understand this. Because who's going to replace black men? They need another gender. So why not use eunuchs? Why not use the castrated black men? The black men who don't want to be black men. Why not use them? And then we'll make them even subservient to women. You see how this works? This is what they're doing. And this stuff was set up centuries ago. You see? You see why we say or we speak on male and female nature? And when we speak on provision, we speaking about foresight. And that is what those men had. Because they knew that if they don't have this type of foresight, that they will be genetically wiped out. You see? See why we could trace this back all the way to biblical times. And I was shocked when I was able to find it. You see? So now, let's tie in how this stuff transferred onto what you see today. I'm going to share my screen. Make sure y'all hit the like button and share the show, family. I see y'all in the building. Shout out to all of the visionaries. Salute. Much love to y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button and share this show. Now we're going to make the connection to what we have today, because this is what we're dealing with today. Now, see, let's read. Let's read this. Now, yesterday's show, we spoke on a guy by the name of Carl Hopkins, right? Who just was at the Emmys, correct? With the non-binary flag as a dress. Go and check out part 1. Go and check out part 1. Make sure y'all go and check out part 1, because that is the precursor to this. Now, on that stream, I spoke on the non-binary black men. Because when we're talking about black homo masculinity, we're speaking on the non-binary man. This is the new trend for black men who don't identify as straight men, but don't want to be seen or portrayed as effeminate men because their sexual preference. You see what's going on here? You see what's going on here? So by them allowing this, this is why they're promoting Kevin Samuels. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. I have no problem with it. This is why they're promoting Kevin Samuels, because Kevin Samuels doesn't have to say he's gay. Kevin Samuels can say he's whatever he wants to be, which is non-binary, and still be a masculine man. Carl Hopkins, anyone? You see? Because they understand, rather, Kevin understands that effeminate men and gay men are synonymous. But he understands that with the new laws that the LGBTQ has, that now they can blur the lines between what's masculine when you're dealing with men. Because it's like, why can't we be masculine even though we're not straight? You see? Because the problem has always been masculine straight men. They even said that the masculine straight men were the men who were actually abusing them for them having their sexual preference. So they're a problem. So we need to have this agenda to get rid of them. We can replace them. We can replace them. We can replace them, because why am I not masculine? I'm Kevin Samuels. You can't tell Kevin Samuels that he's not masculine. You can't. You can't. You can't tell Carl Hopkins he's not masculine. Because if you do, he'll ask you, well, how do you prove that I'm not masculine? You see this? So now let's read. A eunuch generally means a person who was assigned male at birth. Okay? So we know that eunuchs are born men. They're born with penises. And who was castrated. Though many historical eunuchs were made so without their consent, eunuchs often occupied a non-binary gender role. Y'all think this is a game? Y'all think this shit is a game? These are not women. These are eunuchs. These are Indian eunuchs. Y'all go and just YouTube eunuchs in India. Very popular thing in India. Very popular thing in India. Eunuchs. Y'all think this is a game? When I say it's a spiritual war, when the A-game family say this is a spiritual war, it's because it is, man. Everything starts from spirit first. That is where the corruption started. So let's read it again. A eunuch generally means a person who was assigned male at birth and who was castrated. Though many historical eunuchs were made, remember I read that they were produced. They were produced, were made so without their consent. Eunuchs often occupied a non-binary gender role, often called third gender. Third gender, right in front of you. The third gender. Why would they want to make a third gender? Because they're in fear of something. They're in fear of either a male or a female. And most of the time, it's a male. You see? Other groups of men don't like their women procreating with us, not because they just hate us and, all of the other things like, size and, things like that. No, the basis of it is genetic annihilation. That's what it is. That's what it is. So if we create a third gender, that will get rid of some black men. because they won't have children. They won't take on family. They won't do the traditional roles of men. Eunuchs often occupied a non-binary gender role, often called third gender. And some of them were that we now call transgenders. We call them transgenders now. Now we call them that. We think it's a game, right? This is not nothing to play with. Now, before we wrap this show up, let's go into a little more history. Let me stop sharing my screen. We're going to go into a little bit more of our history, of the history behind this. Not of our history, but of the history behind this stuff. Because, see, when you hear black men say there's a constant threat of extinction, like we say right here in the Black Manosphere magazine, that constant threat of extinction, oh, it's been going on for a long time. For a long, long, long time. So it's not just a talking point. It's real. I went back to the Bible with it. And I just brought it home and showed y'all how it's connected today. These are the same people now who are called trannies, transgenders. Excuse me. These are the same people now. So it says, usually a eunuch is one who has been castrated either by at least taking away the gonads, which is the testicles, sometimes including the removal of the scrotum, or by taking away the gonads as well as the penis. Eunuchs have existed for virtually all of written history. The earliest record of them was in Sumer in the 21st century BCE. Before the creation of more elaborate kinds of gender validating surgeries, non-binary and other transgender people in many cultures were also eunuchs by choice. By choice. By choice. By choice. By choice. Traditionally, eunuchs and many of them today prefer to be, even when they have the option to get the kind of surgeries that transgender women can get today. Some other identities that they have often been eunuchs include, I can't pronounce those names, but they're weird. Eunuch is not necessarily a non-binary or transgender identity. Many cultures around the world also had a tradition of making someone into a eunuch without that person's consent. Now remember, we just had a situation where this lady wanted to castrate her son. She was talking about it. I think it was on her Instagram page. Shout out to my brother Young Manhood. He covered that story where this woman wanted to, she wanted to castrate her son because she didn't want him producing children. This is crazy. The purpose of this was to ensure that they couldn't have children without a nobleman's concubines, or to give them a higher singing voice. Wow. These eunuchs, usually identified as men. Eunuch is also not necessarily a surgical process. In ancient writings, sometimes eunuch means a person who hasn't been castrated, but who can't or won't have children because of being sterile, intersex, gay, asexual, or just not interested. That sounds like someone that we all know who's just not interested. Some non-binary people who identify as neutros are or wish to become eunuchs or label themselves as eunuchs. So you see what we're dealing with here. These people identify as men, these eunuchs. They're men who voluntarily or involuntarily chose to be castrated for societal purposes. This is the same thing that we have today, where we have black men who are choosing to go deal in these crazy lifestyles for money, for profit, for positions. You got some of these guys who do these crazy sexual acts to get up in higher positions in the music business. We all heard about this. We all heard about this. You got some of these guys who just choose to be sex slaves. You see, because the castration is not always physical. The castration is also social. You see? And then you become a slave to women. You become a slave. This is what they do. This is what they do to Maggles. This is how Jada Pinkett had little August Alsina. You see? This is what we're dealing with here, brothers. And we have to speak out against this type of shit because it's a full out onslaught on straight black men. Because straight black men is always the problem to everything, as we could see. The problem are not the transgender black men, the eunuchs. It's not them. The problem is us. We're considered the super predators. We're considered the ones who don't take care of our children, who don't do this, who don't do that. Why do you think those things are put out? It is to ease in these new black men. See? So all of this shit, there's not going to be any black men left. That's the plan. That's the plan. That is the plan. Because as we can see, as we learned today, that a eunuch is a man who don't want to be a man, who do not want to be a man. He does not want to be a man. And this is what they're promoting to us, brothers. How are they're promoting it through the lost value system? When they put Russell Westbrook up in front of us. You see? A homo masculine man. When they uplift a Kevin Samuels out of a space that is supposed to be strictly for heterosexual black men, they go and uplift Kevin Samuels, a homo masculine. You see, you got a bunch of incels around here who don't want to use it. They don't want to reproduce. Don't have no children. I don't want children. Children's a headache. I want to spend my money on me. You see this? We have the right to not have any children. We don't have to take care of nothing. See? See what I said? When I say you practice the lost value system, it corrupts your 4 Ps. This is what they're doing to us, brothers. Because they're trying to what? Survive. Genetically. So they're trying to wipe us out. On all fronts. On all fronts. And we have to understand this. But it starts spiritually. It's a spiritual war first. It starts there. It starts there. Because that's how they start the process of biocotyron, when they attack us biologically. See, when they said back in history, the eunuchs that were produced, those were the children who were given up for castration by their mothers, probably for money, probably for a man that had money. It was for a better position. So they would allow this process to go on to create this new culture that we see today. And this stuff has been going on forever, for centuries. Go and look it up. Type in eunuchs in India. It's been going on for years, man. The people that you see on the thumbnail are eunuchs, Indian eunuchs. Some of y'all probably thought they were women. Some of y'all probably thought they were women. Don't cap in the chat. But once this process started, the creation of these eunuchs, right? And then it became normal. It became a culture where women were just giving their children up to do it. Now, today, they have laws to protect these types of people. You see? Because when you chop the penis off, that is emasculation. That is the process of emasculation when the penis is chopped off. This is why in slavery, they used to chop our penises off, brothers, in front of our women to emasculate us, because that's what that process denotes, emasculation. You see? Because to become a eunuch, they just cut your nuts off. They just cut your nuts off. But then some people just, as time went on, they just got rid of all of it. But initially, they'll just cut your nuts off, your gonads. Because that is where where the material is, the genetic material. Pay attention. This is for genetic survival. So they have to come up with these agendas. So they said, damn, okay, we can't stop black men from being masculine. Well, how about we redefine what masculinity is? How about we put some sauce on it? So what do? We go and we pick a guy from a so-called masculine space and we blow him up to the world. We pick this homo masculine man, Kevin Samuels, and we blow him up to the world. We make him a celebrity. And he has this narrative of a high value man. A high value man could be a man of any sexual preference. This is non-binary shit. A high value man could be a transgender man. See, y'all got to pay attention. See, y'all thought, because I was the first one in the space to warn everyone about Kevin Samuels. First one. Y'all thought I was just doing it for views and, oh, he's clout chasing. No. And as I said from the beginning, he was promoting an agenda. This is the agenda he was promoting. Black homo masculinity. This is the new black man. This is the black man you black women should want to be with. Because if you with them other kind of niggas, you gonna be broke. If you be with them other kind of niggas, you ain't never gonna be happy. You not gonna get what you want. Notice what he be saying out his mouth. I'm just trying to give black women what they want. I'm just trying to give black women what they want. What is a eunuch? Guardians of women or harem servants. Y'all think it's a game. I'm just trying to give black women what they want. You know who else says that? Obsidian. A man who we know is what? Involuntarily celibate. He's a eunuch. He doesn't use his dick. He doesn't use it. He's a eunuch. Why are these men being praised by other men. Why? Why? Oh, because they're seen as the guys who are doing their thing. See? Fresh and fruity. Fresh and fit. Homo masculine. He get into an argument, he pull his gun out. Are y'all paying attention? Are y'all following me now, family? You see, there's a method to DS1's madness, man. It always has been and it always will be. And if you got that ear, you're going to hear it. You're going to know. You're going to know. You're going to know. See? Why would they take and uplift these homo masculine men from this space? Why? Why? And why do they have the support of so-called heterosexual masculine men from this space? Why do they have the support? Because there's more eunuchs than we think. That's why. That's why. That's why the message is don't have children. Go mess with these other type of women where in their country there's a bunch of eunuchs. Pay attention. They love the lady boys. Those are eunuchs. Thailand, somebody. You know, they like to tiger uppercut. You know, they like to go see Saget from Street Fighter. Thailand, tiger uppercut. They like to go see Vega. They like to go to Spain and see Vega, a eunuch. See, y'all think it's just jokes. And some, of course, y'all know I got to add my humor to it. But facts are facts. These guys want to go to the countries where the eunuchs are. Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yup. You want to go to Pakistan? Yeah, uh-huh. You want to go over there to India? Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm a traveling man. I bet you are, buddy. I bet you are. And that's why in this space, the heterosexual masculine men are frowned upon. It's always something wrong with them. There's always something wrong with us. We're not good enough. I know. I know. I know. Because the agenda is we have to get black women to pick us, the eunuchs. See, if black women continue to be with men who dick work and men who want to use their dicks on them, then master is in trouble. So we had to go and save Master. He's paying us a lot of money for this. He's paying us a lot of money to keep him alive. Oh, we have to do this. Kevin, we have to do this, man. We have to take over this space, Kevin. We cannot let Pookie and Ray Ray, those guys can still have children. Those guys, their sperm is very potent, Kevin. Can't keep having a bunch of these black babies out here, Kevin. They're gonna get on welfare. As if that's their fucking problem. That's what you hear these eunuchs out here saying. You gotta do who will tell you don't nothing go down in his bedroom. This is not where nothing happens at. Whoa. So you're proud to not be having sex in your bedroom? What is going on here, Papa? What's going on here? Papino, what's going on, Papino? What's going on? You don't want to make love to your woman? This is where the magic's supposed to happen, Papa. The magic's supposed to happen there. What you mean? What you mean no magic there? What you mean? No understand that. What you mean, Papi? What you mean? Oh, come on. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Papa. I don't know about that. I don't know what's going on. Shout out to you, Miss Audrey. Appreciate you. Much love. Shout out to my visionaries in the chat. Y'all doing a hell of a job, man. I appreciate y'all. y'all like the accent. But I'm gonna wrap this show up, man, because as y'all know, the lovely Crimson Cure is coming up next. So make sure y'all go over there. Straight from here, all 71 of y'all, make y'all way over there to the Crimson Cure channel and check her out. Shout out to everybody in the building. Right, God. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate everybody for coming through. If y'all want me to do a part 3, let me know if y'all want me to do a part 3 real quick, man. Put a number 1 in the chat for yes. Put a number 2 in the chat for no if y'all want me to do a part 3 to this. Y'all let me know, and I'll come back with a part 3. If not, I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning into today's show. If y'all enjoyed today's show, Cash App $SheepStaySleepTV. Cash App $SheepStaySleepTV is where you can go to donate to the show, man. I appreciate everyone who has donated. If you hit the super chat, if you hit the Cash App, I appreciate it. And yeah, you did, bro. Shout out to Double C, man. You did say make it a trilogy, bro. You definitely did, man. You definitely did, man. You must be on your A game, man. You must be on your A game because you definitely said it. You definitely said it, man. So shout out to Double C, man. But I see the ones. Number 1, keep breaking it down. Yes, I will continue to break it down. Yes. The guards say yes, we need a round 3. My brother Suavemente said 1. Middle Heart says a 1. Panda berries, of course. Bronze dip. Yeah, I darn sure is. A Game Nation, man. Salute to Double C. But I appreciate everybody for pulling up to today's show. Like I said, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share the show. Follow me over there to the Crimson Cure channel. DS1 Ross, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And remember, brothers, We are our own agency. We are our own agency. We'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Salute to all of the visionaries. Shout out to the A-Game family. Much love to the A-Game Nation. Peace.
This show is sponsored, and this channel is sponsored by A-Game, a male herbal solution. A male herbal solution. Fellas, get down in the description box and join this A-Game lifestyle. This is a lifestyle promoting optimal health for us men. It's a lifestyle that promotes optimal health for us men. It is for our energy. It is for our vitality. It is for our strength, and it is for our libido. Fellas, join this A-Game lifestyle simply by clicking the link in the description box, and at your checkout, type in the promo code SHEEP and the number 10. That's SHEEP and the number 10. Get a discount off on your purchase.